And I'm starting with my pasta salad. I want to get my pasta boiling. And I like to use, instead of using, you know, the long pasta like spaghetti or fettuccine or linguine, I like to use like a penne, a bow tie, a ziti, rotini, something like this for this pasta salad. And always salt the water, you know that. So a little kosher salt into my water. I'm going to bring it to a boil. Making the pasta for a pasta salad, if you're having company, is something you can do at least a couple of days ahead of time. You can park it in the refrigerator, toss in a little olive oil, and that's one of those things that you can get at least a few days done ahead. Now, we're going to make a homemade Caesar dressing for this. If you really were in a pinch and wanted to save some time, you could just buy a good Caesar salad dressing in the grocery store. If you're ever in that pinch, which it happens to all of us, the refrigerated stuff I think is so much better than the stuff that's, you know, sitting on the shelf there. So you could certainly go for that. If you do buy a store made, you know, pre-made Caesar dressing, I always like to jazz it up a little bit. Add maybe a little bit of fresh lemon juice, maybe a little bit of fresh black pepper, maybe Parmesan cheese, just to make it taste like it was homemade. But we're going to make our own Caesar dressing, and it couldn't be easier. Most of the stuff you probably already have around the house. So it starts out with 1/3 cup of mayo. Pasta's talking. Now to that, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of olive oil. Just going to kind of eyeball it. So the dressing is going to have the olive oil and the mayonnaise in there. We're using the mayo because we're not going to use raw eggs. In a lot of cases, you'll see raw eggs in Caesar salad, and for this, we're just going to keep it nice and safe and easy and just use the mayo instead. Also going to use some fresh lemon juice, and that's something that you'll find in Caesar dressing, and I happen to love it. And sometimes those lemons are a little bit rock hard, limes too, so throw them into the microwave for just, you know, 15-20 seconds, and they tend to release their juices a lot more. Especially if you just take them right from the fridge. Even if you just set them on the counter a little bit and they're not real cold, they're going to juice a little easier. I think we've all had that happen before, where it's just hard to get the juice from the lemon. You can also just kind of press on it, get the juices flowing. So the recipe calls for juice from about 1 lemon. And I'm going to do this old trick, and you guys have told me about this, to just cup your clean hands over the juice, and that way you'll catch any of the seeds, which is brilliant. I love getting tips and tricks from you guys, and recipes too. So yeah, the juice just released really easily there. All right. No seeds. We don't want any seeds in there. We don't want any of the ladies to chip a tooth. That would not be a good baby shower. Also on the menu today, stuffed mushrooms, a really fun hors d'oeuvre, which actually, oops, we got 1 seed in there. We'll get it out. Would work nicely with this pasta salad. And then, of course, you got to have fun desserts. So we're going to do some great little lemon tarts. All right. So it ends up being about 1/3 cup. Oh, we got babies? Oh, good. All right. Well, this is a picture of my babies. I'm not having any more babies unless they're grandchildren, and that better not happen for a really long time. But I do enjoy going to a baby shower, and I wanted to show you my babies who are growing up. But this is when they were little. I was digging through some old pictures recently, and I found this picture of my kiddos. This is Riley when he was about 6. In Ireland, I don't even think she was 1. She walked pretty early. You can see how tiny she is there. And now Riley is in college. And Ireland's going to be in high school. I can't even believe it. Where does the time go? I know I hear from you guys all the time. I remember when you were pregnant with Riley. I know, he's going to be 20. I can't even believe it. But anyway, as you can see, I was always a big believer of getting them into the kitchen. They always loved to come in the kitchen and cook with me. We actually had a little drawer in the kitchen for both the kids where I'd put utensils, and you know, they weren't fancy utensils, but it was like an extra spoon and a spatula and measuring cups and a little apron, and that got them excited about coming into the kitchen to cook with me. And to this day, Ireland is still a huge fan of you know, cooking, and I think if you don't get the kids cooking, you know, they may not ever learn how to cook. So get them in the kitchen with you and get them in there early. I love that picture. All right, so I'm just whisking together olive oil, lemon juice, mayonnaise. I'm going to do some fresh garlic. Got 2 cloves of fresh garlic. I actually want to chop it up a little bit fine. I just don't want the ladies to get a big piece of garlic in there. That wouldn't be so good. But I want that great garlic flavor. And again, these are the classic flavors you're going to find in a traditional Caesar salad. All right, so that looks good. Fresh ground black pepper. I don't skimp on the pepper. I like to use quite a bit of it. About a teaspoon or so of Worcestershire sauce. Just kind of eyeball it. And then some Dijon mustard. Again, about a teaspoon of that. I love the squeeze because you can just take out what you need when you need it and put the lid back on and get it back in the refrigerator. They make things so easy these days. Okay, and then a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. And I'm using the grated Parmesan cheese for this. We're going to use some of the shredded a little later on. So this is the dressing, and I told you that's how easy Caesar dressing, homemade Caesar dressing is. And boy, does it, you can really taste the difference. Okay, I'm going to chop up some tomatoes. I'm going to throw some tomatoes in here. Traditionally, you don't find tomatoes in Caesar dressing, but one of the reasons I like it is in this salad, it's going to just add some really nice color. So, and these Roma tomatoes are good pretty much all year round. Cherry or grape tomatoes would work fine too. They're nice and sweet, and they would look pretty in the salad. We'll just give those tomatoes a rough chop. If you don't like tomatoes, you could throw in a little bit of red pepper would be pretty, or leave it out altogether. But I just, like I say, this is going to just be some nice color. Okay. And the last ingredient I have before I start draining that pasta is, of course, Caesar salad has romaine lettuce. And I love to buy the romaine lettuce in the packs of 3 hearts of romaine. And we're going to take a couple of these outer leaves, which usually aren't the best for using in the salad. I'll get rid of that first one. And I'll actually put those on the plate, and we'll kind of serve the pasta salad in that so that we all know it's a Caesar. So I'm going to take some of the romaine and just give it a rough chop. You don't want to shred it like a taco. I just kind of want to chop it up a little bit. And let's start putting this salad together, shall we? Okay, drain our pasta. And in this case, I am going to cool it a little bit because I've got that dressing with the mayonnaise in it. So I'm going to run some cool water over that, which is going to stop the cooking as well. Rinse it really well. We don't want any of the water from the pasta getting in there. And then I've got this nice big bowl. Whenever I'm doing a big salad like this, I love to use just a really nice big bowl. Then I'm going to take that dressing, and I want to get every little last bit of it in there. I really believe a pasta salad is best eaten within a couple of hours after making. If you do want to do the whole thing the day before, you need to do a dressing check. What happens with pasta salads is if you make them a day or two ahead, the pasta really sucks up a lot of that dressing, and then sometimes you're left with a really dry pasta salad, and that is no good. So keep in mind that if you are going to be making this ahead for your shower, a day ahead or two, You are going to want to redress the salad with maybe a little more olive oil, mayo, and lemon juice, just to bring it back to life. I like to make this about an hour or two before the party, so you could have all the components done. You can have the pasta done, the tomatoes chopped, the romaine chopped, the bacon, which we've got about a pound of bacon cooked and crumbled. So you can have that all done and then kind of just toss it together an hour or two before the party. I do like it to sit in the dressing for a good hour or two rather than serve it right away. I think that, so there's kind of a fine line to not make it too far in advance, but not make it too early with pasta salad. So that's kind of my rule of thumb. All right. So this would be great just in the refrigerator for about an hour or so, just to kind of marry the flavors. But longer than that, or longer than all day or 24 hours, definitely check the dressing on it to see if you need to redress that salad. Now, as far as the romaine goes, that's something you don't want to put in this salad until right before serving, because it's going to get sog central. So add your romaine to the salad right before serving. And now we're just going to plate this up in these romaine leaves. This is going to be a really nice presentation. Bacon, the tomatoes, get it all in there. And then we'll throw some shredded Parmesan cheese over the top, maybe a little more bacon, maybe a few tomatoes just to garnish and make it look really pretty. And there you go. It's my pasta Caesar salad with bacon. Recipes on the website. You can also pick it up at any area festival foods.